It was really hard. I mean, we're not stupid. We always knew there was going to be a backlash. We knew that we were mixing a pretty potent cocktail, but what I don't think we expected was the violence, people actually seriously wanting to harm us, and also the entitlement. My birth name is Cait Pansegrouw. A nickname that you don't know. Shit, I don't have many nicknames really. Cait, Katie if people are feeling extra cheery. Yeah. I identify as a human being, and I feel like if we all identified as human beings first and identified others as human beings first, maybe we would be kinder to each other. I hustle mostly, but I'm a film producer. I like to attach personal meaning to things, so my version and understanding of what a film producer is and what I like to call myself on the side is a film doula, because I feel like a large part of my role is to help creative people birth their vision, and then the boring adulting stuff of raising the finance and pulling it all together so that we can actually realize the vision. You also need to be people's shrink a lot of the time, so it's pretty full on. My chosen family, my friends, and music, and good films. I feel very fortunate that I've had moments in my life where I feel like I've made it, but I would like to have, I'd like them to be more frequent and closer together and not kind of spaced out across sometimes years. But I think when I just want more moments of feeling really proud of the work that I collaborate on and that I produce, yeah. I don't always have enough cash at the end of the month to save, but it is there in my brain. I can't escape the fact that I'm an adult and I do need to save. I have a retirement annuity, yes. Angry. In 2018, I need to learn how to take better care of myself. I'd like you to know that I took steps towards conquering the patriarchy. Oh my God, these questions are so hectic. I would learn and recognize that self-care is really important and not something to only think about when you're approaching the hill, getting over the hill. I feel like I should have like a really intelligent answer to this question, but it's probably gonna be something like a film that I've watched probably 10,000 times from the age of 8 that I watched last week again was Clueless. Several, also TV series. I am obsessed with The Wire. And I always tell myself that if I had worked on that and then died right after, I would have been fine and my life would have been complete. Plus I saw Omar in an airport once and we made eye contact with each other. What else? I wish I had produced The Hours. It's another film that I always go back to, and probably more of a cinephile impressive answer than Clueless. And Pan's Labyrinth, yeah. I think I realized where I fit in film school, but I knew that I wanted to be involved in storytelling, and specifically visual storytelling, very young, probably when I was 8 or 9, but I didn't know where exactly. I thought I wanted to be an actress or something, but then I went to film school and understood what everyone did and how it all fit together, and that's how I found my way into producing. I think it's really important to be confident and to know your worth and to know very much what you're bringing to the table, what your strengths are, and be vocal about that, but also be willing to work your ass off, because that's really what it requires. But also, it is so much about who you know, and also about kind of being strategic, but also being really lucky about working with the right people. So research production companies and producers or directors or whatever field you're trying to break into. Research people whose work you admire, and try and connect with these people, because a lot of the time people are assholes, but a lot of the time they're also really cool people that want to empower younger people and mentor younger people. I feel personally very passionate about that. So if I do sometimes get students, particularly female students, mailing me, and I'm always like super keen to hook up for a coffee or a Cosmo and chat about how we're gonna get them into the industry. But just be ready to work really hard. It's tough. Inxeba was real, because I think in total there were 4 women, and with the cast and crew combined and all our background performers, etc., there were about 220 of us, and 4 of us were women. So that it is hard, but again, I just think you have to be really confident and really strong in what you stand for and what you're bringing to the table, and own the space that you're in, and just you have to give off that vibe that you can't be fucked with, and then generally you're kind of okay. And in terms of challenging the patriarchy, it's really about who I collaborate with, the kind of work that I choose to involve myself with and develop and produce, and partnering with or collaborating with people that are also passionate about that, and passionate about not just making a film, but making something that does have potential to stir, hopefully, a national, even a global debate. So I came across the project when it was still a project, when it was still a script, a very early script, and it was being pitched at the Durban International Film Festival. And I heard about it. Well, I remember sitting there and thinking, I have to be a part of this, like in whatever capacity. I'll make the food. People probably won't be very happy about that because I can't even boil an egg, but like I'll do whatever it takes to be involved. Because the feminist in me was like, this is what we've been waiting for. So apart from producing, and especially when I started my career in commercials, I did a lot of casting because I love people and I love meeting people and hearing their stories. So I approached the director, John, saying, you know, I spent a lot of time in the Eastern Cape as a child, and like I can hook you up on the ground there, and I'll like do whatever you need. Let's talk about a collaboration. So I came on board as a casting director. But that was a very lengthy process because it was a very difficult film to cast, and I did as far as possible want to cast non-actors, which can be very challenging. So that took 2 years, and through the process of that, kind of got into bed with my now business partner, and joined that company and kind of forged this amazing partnership, which I am very fortunate to be in today. So once that kind of solidified, I did stay on the film as one of the producers, yeah. It was really hard. I mean, we're not stupid. We always knew there was going to be a backlash. We knew that we were mixing a pretty potent cocktail, but what I don't think we expected was the violence, people actually seriously wanting to harm us, and also the entitlement to that, to send us death threats, to send me threats of rape with their name there, like they were not anonymous threats. And I think what really made it bearable and what got us through it is that we were all so proud of what we'd created, and we were really eager to get it out in the world and to stir and initiate these important conversations that followed. And I mean, the cast are like my children, even though some of them are older than me, so it's a bit weird to say, but they are like family to me. So we'd speak every day. I'd make sure everyone was kind of okay, felt like they had the resources they needed to get through it, and it was just about being there for them, and just unfortunately us having to be very aware of the situations we put ourselves in, so where we were going at what time with whom, and that was a really shitty way to live for a while. And yeah, some people, for some of the cast, I'm not sure they can ever go back to the Eastern Cape, or at least not for a really long time, until people find something else to be really angry about. But it was pretty devastating to have my cast threatened like that, and have in some cases their families threatened, and then be in a situation where I couldn't even get a case number from the police because cyber threats are not real threats. Yeah, I hope I answered the question. We did have, this is an interesting misconception that I would like to kind of pour some truth into, is that everyone was upset, everyone was opposed, everyone was offended, and there were a lot of people that were outraged, but there were also waves and waves and waves of people that were so happy that the filming just existed. To the point where people I didn't even know were contacting me and saying, I went to go watch your film 4 times at the cinema, thank you so much for making it. And especially, I think one of the proudest moments for me was going to the cinema, and we showed at Cinema Nouveau, right, which we all know is frequented by old white ladies. And I went inside and the cinema was packed with black youth under 30, and people sitting on the floor, people sitting on the steps, people really interacting with the film, freaking out, standing up, shouting, clapping, crying, just going ballistic. People were interacting with the film in a way that I'd never witnessed anywhere else. And I mean, the film has traveled everywhere. I think we've shown on every continent now, and it's such a special, unique experience for me as a filmmaker to watch films here with our audience, and specifically with the black queer youth, which is who we made the film for.